Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors, a Hogue Ritter RSK MK3 rendition, if you will. Hey, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. That number's going down, but we have a long road to hoe vets. We love you. Anything over zero is unacceptable. We back to blue over here. We support Leo. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. So, today we are doing the RSK MK3 by Doug Ritter. Now, for those of you familiar with the channel, you will know that 2 to 3 weeks ago, Mr. Ritter was on Blade Talk with Scab and Joe, with Joe and I, and was a fantastic guest. I'm going to put a link in the description to that Blade Talk. It went very well. Mr. Ritter was a joy. He is the head of knife rights. That's why one of the reasons I am very, very, very high on him. He stands up for us, for anyone who carries a knife or uses a knife, and we support knife rights at Choir Boys Cutlery Outdoors. Now, this knife is built by Hogue in the USA and sold exclusively at Knife Works. I want to make sure that I point that out. I paid about $200. Now here's the deal. On their website it's $192, and they do offer free shipping. I selected I think it was $7 something for shipping. I wanted to get it here quicker, but when you buy one of these, it is free shipping. Just know that. Let me give you some specs real quick. The blade stock is CPM S45VN. The blade length is 4.5 inches. It has an HRC of 60 to 62. The blade thickness is 0.14. It is a drop point with a high flat ground. It weighs 5.7 ounces. The overall length is 9.25 inches. It is a full tang. It has G10 handle scales, which I love, with that sunburst pattern like his folders do. The sheath is it's a ballistic sheath, nylon with a Kydex liner. Now, let me say this about the sheath real quick. Y'all know I don't cover sheaths a lot. The sheath is actually really, really, really well done. It's sturdy, and you can see it on my side. I'm trying to wear the sheaths more during the demonstrations so you can get a good idea. I love the way that it rides. I love the buttons. Now, here's a little slow gem for you. This thing is a slicing monster. I love the ergonomics. I love the jimping on the back. I am very, very high on this knife. I have no qualm saying that. I like Hogue to begin with. Now, this knife is going into our Veterans Raffle, which we're going to kick off in the next week or two. But let me say this up front. I bought this knife with the express intent of doing the demo, and then it hit me. I bought it during the live with Doug Ritter. I looked it up, fell in love with it, and bought it. And then I thought, you know what? We need to have this in the Veterans Raffle. Why? Because Hogue is a good name. I have another Hogue donated by JR that's going to be in that raffle. Doug Ritter is a well-known, not only knife designer, but survival instructor, survivalist. And that was the one thing he didn't want to be asked about in the live. And of course, old Scabber asked him because his partner Joe left out the fact that was the one thing Mr. Ritter didn't want to talk about because he's been so busy with knife rights. He just hasn't been in that aspect a lot. So, Mr. Ritter, I am sorry about that. Blame that on Joe, please. Now, let's get into the knife. I love the damn thing. Let me tell you this. Rusty Knife Lover, there's old Hans Baldwin. Rusty Knife Lover, who's just a rock in the community and an icon in the community. Let me review his two folders. I believe it's the RSK MK2, I believe, and the Mini. Fell in love, man. That RSK MK2 is in my top 5. I really, though, honestly, loved the Mini. I love the slicing of the Mini. I just loved everything about it. I love the fact that a guy who stands for us designed it. I love that the handle is ample and it fits these busted hands. I'm getting to where I really, really love S45N. Now, here's an old toe strap or ratchet strap. I'm going to tell you something, son. That thing right there is tough. Y'all hear me? I had another one that you could cut through, somewhat easy. This one here's been in the sand pit and the dirt and everything else, and it's like iron, son. But the knife handled it beautifully, and I thought it performed very, very well. It performed so well, in fact, I'm dead serious. I'm really thinking about buying another one for my 5,000 giveaway. I mean, this thing, I love the way the knife looks. I love the way the knife handles. And somebody, you're just trying to be nice and kiss up. Kiss my ass. I just bought this knife, and I'm talking about buying another one. I'm not kissing up to anybody. I buy my stuff, or my subscribers send it. So that's the end of that. I hadn't been in a great mood, so we're going to move on from Scab Petty. But I just want y'all to know, I believe in Doug Ritter. I believe in knife rights. I believe in Hogue. I believe in American made. And I believe in this knife. And sweet tea and apple pie and Chevrolet and all the rest. But seriously, I freaking love this knife. We're going to do some batoning. We're going to do a bunch of everyday tasks. For those of you that are new to the channel, we set our videos up. One, my hands are terrible. I'll drop every damn thing in the video. But we set our videos up where you can turn the narration off if there are some little ones around and just watch the knife work. Or you just don't like my voice. Either way, I get comments both ways. Watch it work. The other thing that I do need to tell you is this: I am a novice at best, and let me say this too. I came straight from work and just got this demonstration, got it going. I've been working on it most of the afternoon, and I just kind of kept going. But the one thing that I try to do is use the knife for everyday tasks. If you're going to use this knife for a specific task, I try to show it on here. Now, we don't do a lot of food prep and things like that. Every now and then we do, and this, I think, would be an outstanding slicer, food prep knife. I really do. It's got that wide belly. It's just perfect. And again, it's just built well. It's built well. It's designed well. It has a slight ramp on the back where that jimping's at, and y'all know I like that. The handle really locks in place, and I love G10. Now we're going to do the John Peters stab test. I don't know why I like showing you the sidewall of the tire every time before I stab it, but this knife is a drop point, and it's actually a pretty good stabber. I know we go through two pieces of sidewall. It's a sidewall from my old Dodge 1500. Goes through it pretty easy. Now we go for 3. We get 2, and then we double pump and get the 3rd. But I'm going to tell you, if it'll go through 2 pieces of sidewall tire, it'll go through what it needs to. And again, and I say this often, we just do a quick 6 to 8 inch kind of punch stab, something like that. And you see the great penetration there. I don't bring it up over my head. I don't go crazy. I don't slam it down. I just do a quick punch stab, and the knife works amazingly well. Now, we got us a little fat wood there, a little Florida gold. So, we've done the other piece of board, I believe, was just an old 2x4, pressure-treated 2x4. So, I wanted to use a little something different here, use this fat wood, and again, absolute slicer. Now, let me say this, because I cut everything I could with this knife. Before we put this knife in the raffle, it will go to DJ Horn to hone up, sharpen up, and be like brand new. This will be the only time that I use this knife. Now, we're going to baton this piece of fat wood right here, and it doesn't have one lick of problem getting the Bam Bam stick right through it, son. Not a problem. Well, I batoned a lot in this video. I'm trying to prep up a lot of wood, honestly. One thing we're going to get back into is our Friday fires. So I try to get enough wood prepped up, and the demonstrations are a great way to do that. I was going to say, when we did the Donnie B All-day drop test and throw it at the stump test, the knife is very well balanced. The tip held up well. The edge, no rolling, no chips, no dings, no dents. And let me just say this, D-Bad is over 8,000 now. Donnie B All-day is over 8,000. Go over, hit subscribe. We're trying to get him to 10,000. Guys, the Shredder is knocking on the thousands door. If you are not subscribed to the Shredder Knife Reviews, you need to be. Those two guys are my primary shout outs. As always, there's Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. That's our other channel. And then my partner Joe over at Steel Forged and Fire sort of knife does just an amazing job. Go subscribe to those 4. I will put all 4 links in the description. Now, we got about 3 minutes left. Right there, guys. That thing feather sticked up a storm, and I'm the world's worst feather sticker. You're also probably wondering what the hell's on my shirt. I think it's hot sauce from pizza. I really don't know. Been a long day, guys. Now, right here, we got some paracord. At this point now, we've cut ratchet straps, we've cut toe straps, we've stabbed tires, we've batoned 4 or 5 pieces of wood. The edge has held up amazingly well. It really, really has, because, guys, honest to God, there's probably 2 hours worth of demonstration type stuff. I don't call them tests. We don't do shit that's scientific. We just cut a bunch of stuff, baton a bunch of stuff, slice a bunch of stuff, and the more I like a knife, the more I do it. And so right here, you can see we're coming down to the end of the video, yes, but this was near the end of the testing. Edge held up really, really well. And here's another little test that y'all see, or another little demonstration y'all see a lot. The knife penetrated this bottle and glided through it just like it should. And that's what we're looking for. I can only speak to the knives that I demonstrate, to the pieces that are in my hand. This is the 3rd, if not 4th, Hogue. I know it's the 3rd Hogue Ritter compilation that I've done. Everything that I have done from Hogue has been first rate. I'm just going to tell you that. I love Mr. Ritter's designs. I can't say that enough. Again, guys, if you get a minute, I'll put a link in the description. Please go check out that Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. He goes over our knife rights. He is a guy you need to know. He's over on Instagram under Doug Ritter and under Knife Rights. Go follow him over there. Keep up with him. Get on that Knife Rights mailing list so you can keep up with what's going on with the knife laws in your state and in your vicinity and in your country. That's very, very important. And let me just say again, Mr. Ritter, thank you so much for all you do for all knife lovers everywhere. All right, guys, last demonstration, I believe, our zip tie test. Now, added a little extra element when I hold it, when I don't brace it up, anything. Knife held up good, no chipping, no denting, no nothing to the edge, and that's what we're testing. Again, a knife should be able to cut a zip tie. Yes, absolutely. Not really what we're testing. What we're testing is to make sure that the heat treat is on target, and I can tell you, this one's been spot on. Well, guys, this knife has been a joy. I almost hate parting with it, and I'm going to buy another one for sure. Listen, guys, Mikey says it best. Everything's going to be okay. I'm Scab. You're not. It's an awesome knife, man. I'm gone, son.